Hey guys, how's it going? This is garden tour number 2 for the day. We're at Lilac Cottage. We actually walked through this garden together in 2019, I
3 years
think.
ago.
Yeah, a lot has changed. So I'm really excited to see it. I haven't seen the progression yet. I mean, all I've seen is this up here. So take us through.
Yeah, Lilac Cottage. This is a really special one in that it is the original cottage in the annex. This is called Hubbard's Annex to the National Park. This was developed back in the late 1800s as a summer cottage kind of oasis for a lot of industrial barons from like Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and the railroad and lumber industries and things back then. And so all of these really beautiful Victorian cottages were built back then, but this was the first one. And it was built by Charles Caskey. This was built as his original home and his first kind of project here on the island. And he developed and built many of these cottages on Mackinac Island, and he was actually hired for and was the original architect of the Grand Hotel.
Oh my.
Super cool, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But this is a real classic Caskey, and they've recently done quite a bit of renovation work and did a big addition on the back of the cottage, but from the front you cannot see that addition at all, and this whole front facade is exactly as it always was, even though they did a lot of work to renovate and tune it all up. So
Sure.
it just recently got all repainted and really cleaned up and tuned up, but this is classic kind of Caskey style.
Love this.
Yeah, so the garden beds didn't ever used to have any kind of border on them whatsoever. In fact, when I started, there was just a big hedge of these nasty brambly old roses in front of the cottage that were so tall and huge that you couldn't see out or in or anything, and they were really thorny and terrible. So we expanded the beds way out and have now the hedge or the foundation planting along the cottage those are all Paladin lilacs, which are a really great re-blooming lilac. And I'm sure we'll catch some little bit of the blooms that come the second time around as we walk around the cottage. But they're a really tough little leaf lilac kind of shrub form. I love them. And then the border beds here, this is all just dry stack. We call these little shim walls. They're really easy for us to build and stack. This product is locally readily available, and I love doing little walls like this because even just a little wall like this separates out the lawn and the garden so nicely. The bed then can be amended and fluffy and nice soil. Plants can hang over a little bit, but you cut down on that maintenance so significantly.
But you broke it up, which I love that. So it's not just one long run of the same thing.
Yeah,
Got
I like
bigger
to toss in
stones.
some of those boulders, and again, that's also because it ties into so much of the rest of the landscape. So I tied in some of these boulders here and there because as we get toward the back, we have a lot of boulders kind of as the walls get a little taller, and we've got some staircases and stuff. And
the view, like you just stand here and see all of the layers. Dang. Do you just do that every once in a while? Just stand there and
like, man, that's pretty
that's
sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Actually, one real cool design factor here was that the barn was built. When I was hired to take this one all over and everything, the barn was just being built. And somewhere in the archives, there's a photo of me, somebody caught, from my backside. And I was standing here like this, and I was my hands are doing this and everything. And what I was dreaming up is this whole picture right here. So from the front of the cottage, see those two birches that flank the barn? And then this third one is right here in the center of the barn. So it makes this really beautiful kind of triangulation.
Yes.
And we keep this birch trimmed way up so you can see back into the barn. And it's it's really cool. And then in the fall, when these are vibrant yellow, that triangle of yellow it works,
oh yeah.
It works.
I can see it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love that. And all the color.
Lots
the colors.
of beautiful whimsy color for sure. Underneath this space right here, the beds are planted and loaded up with all kinds of different perennials and playful cottage, fun. And then right here, it seems like, there's really not a lot going on, and that's because underneath here is a hatch that they have to have access for. It's for a septic grinder tank thing, pump. And this was the only place it could be. So anyway, we
make it work.
Sweep the bed around it instead of having it right in the lawn. And now all they have to do is move this little bird bath and access it.
Oh, that's nice.
It really works out really well.
And you'd never know it's there.
Yeah, you'd never know it's there. We worked it into the garden. I know.
I don't remember.
No, all of this is new. So all this space back here is totally new, in that the cottage, last time we were coming through, they were just getting into a lot of the renovation work, and they were working on the cottage still. And this whole screen porch is all new, and that sun porch is original.
Oh my goodness.
So this whole back portion was added on and bumped out here.
Wow.
And we added this whole patio space and all these rock walls and little staircases and everything. And it's planted in all the daintiest little low ground covers, creeping phloxes and creeping thyme and little sedums and stuff. The idea was to keep the planting really, really low and real small, like little intimate details, so that you kind of walk through this garden slowly, and there's so many little staircases up and down, so that it's very integrated into the flow of how they live here. So they are coming in and out of the landscape all the time, to get in and out of the cottage through all these different entryways, and coming in and out of the barn and everything like that. So we wanted to accommodate for all that, and it just turned out really cool.
Oh, it really did. And what kind of hydrangea is that?
Those are tough stuff. And they will get bigger. They were just planted maybe a year ago.
Don't those look pretty up against that color?
I know. And they'll fill out this bed and just be a nice big bank of tough stuff there.
Wow.
But I needed something that was tough.
Sure.
Because there's an access right here, see? To get into the crawl space.
Gotcha.
And so they needed to be able to kind of come through here, and these guys can handle it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See
how tough that is? Yeah.
What is the pH? What do you deal with on this island?
We have the natural stone, or the natural soil here has a lot of lime in it.
Okay.
So it's pretty basic. And we could treat these and hit them with aluminum sulfate, isn't it? To get them a little bit more blue. I
love
like
this.
the pink. I think it's great.
It just surprised me. I figured that maybe your pH here would be a little bit lower, and that they would be a little more purpley blue, because we have such high pH that all of ours are pink. But it looks gorgeous with that color.
I know. Stunning,
so
right?
pretty.
This brick too is a really cool feature. This was so the front pathway out front, right where we started, is this same brick, and the owner was able to seek out and find a whole big huge load of this out of St. Louis. This is old road brick. When they were redoing a whole road in St. Louis, she put her name on it, and palletized it all up and shipped it all up here, and we laid it down, so it looks like it's just been here forever. But we just laid this all last year.
Wow. It's got a really neat history.
Yeah. This sedum, I freak out about this sedum.
What is it?
I don't know. I knew you were going to ask me that, but I think it's called like Dazzler or something.
Dang.
Okay, this is a pop quiz for all you all out there. If you can tell us exactly what variety of sedum this is, you all win
the gold star.
The gold star for the day, exactly. But look how cool that is with this Scotch moss underneath there. This is a great sedum, and it flowered so beautifully earlier, and it's still looking good. I want to find out what it is so I can use it a lot more, but that's how it goes.
And this little
yeah.
Is it a playhouse?
This is a she shed, girl.
A she shed?
Yeah, my brother Emery built this.
Really?
And he, this is a real work of art, actually. It's a stunning little, beautiful little shed. Picked up all kinds of little architectural elements to tie it into the house, right? But the whole entire thing is a beautiful timber frame. This is all made from Mackinac Island cedar that he harvested right here on the island.
Wow.
There's no screws bolts or anything. It's all mortise and tenon and oak pegs. So the whole thing is held together. Look at all this joinery.
Wow. It smells good in here too.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
But they use it as a, you know, their nice little working shed,
Yeah.
but there isn't a single screw.
Wow.
The whole thing is held together with all these oak
beautiful
pegs,
work.
all mortise and tenon, all local cedar right here from the island. Super cool.
Yeah, really neat.
He likes doing fun
You
projects
can tell.
like that.
You can tell that love went
Yeah,
into it.
yeah.
Mhm. And I love the window boxes too. Such pretty.
Aren't those dainty little
Yes.
things? They're so tiny. You know.
Oh, they just come right off. Look
how
at
little
that.
that little thing is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, they're getting a little tired in their late season.
Oh, I think they're looking
color,
really
but they
pretty.
still look all right.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Really nice. And then I noticed a water feature over here. Gotta go check that out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was this here the last time we were here? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Was it here?
We had recently installed that, I think, the last time we came through.
Okay.
And I love tucking these little water features in these landscapes. This is from Aquascapes. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
These little pondless systems are really easy to install. The sound of it just echoes across this backyard. And in the summertime, all the screens are open in the house. That sound just echoes all through. It's really, really super neat little nook back here.
Without the maintenance of something
Yeah.
bigger. Okay, I do remember this was new.
Yeah, brand
Yeah.
new. And it's starting to age and patina in very nicely, this
love
little
it.
space. Super, super simple little patio. I
It
love
feels
this is
so
what I
good.
call a living joint, right? So very easy to maintain. It's mostly all Irish moss, creeping thyme and stuff. And sometimes, you're gonna get some
Oh yeah.
weeds and grass growing up in there. And you can take the time to knife that all out of there or just weed whip it down every once in a while or
Just
whatever.
let it go.
It's green, it's clean,
Beautiful.
it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to soften up a patio like this.
And I love this little tucked in space. I would want to spend all the time out here.
Yeah,
The fire
it's nice and
going
casual. Sit out here and cook some hot dogs or whatever. And we still have a lot of projects on the docket for this property. We're building a really darling little arbor for right here, and this whole space is getting a little further developed. This hedge line is getting a little bit of a border bed around here for a little color over here. Some more plantings. There's still some odds and ends that are happening. On a property like this, you're always dreaming and scheming of sort of the next phase and the next great idea and how to do things and stuff like that to keep it fresh and keep it nice. But for the most part, even though it looks like a tremendous amount of work to have these cottagey gardens like this one really doesn't require all that much. Once it's planted so heavily like this, we don't have a lot of weeding or anything like that to do here. The plants really take care of themselves. We'll come through and do a really, really good fall cleanup at the end of the season, and that's about it.
That's all what we all want, I think,
I
from
know.
our spaces, to have them look like this and not have, the enormous amount of weekly.
And it really
maintenance.
goes, you take the time to make sure that you have really good, healthy, beautiful soil to start with. Take the time to make sure it's really weed-free, amended really well, planted really well, and spend the extra money to, plant all the ground covers and get a good quality design established. And then you save so much time in the long run. If you cut corners in the beginning, you're just fighting it for years and years and years.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
So that's your tip for the day.
That's your tip, yeah. Right.
Well, thank you, Jack, again, for taking us through this garden. It's always such a treat to be able, this is our third time, I think, on the island. So being able to come and see some of these spaces again, it's just been such a privilege. So thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
coming.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.